this concept, especially earth leaders, earth centers, all this is for earth consciousness. We need each individuals to have that. So currently there is a need for a new order for ecosystem resilience and sustainable development. And there is a need for the emergence of earth leadership. We have leadership, but it is mostly related to different sections, or sometimes it is very mean, not looking into the consequences of the actions that are the decisions that are made. So human beings are less conscious of the earth. So this we need to bring up. So here again, earth stewardship is also required, which is part, both earth leadership and stewardship, both are similar concepts. So, but ultimately, the people should be responsible for impacts and degeneration of the earth ecosystem and strive for regeneration of earth ecosystems. So this responsibility, leadership without responsibility is existing mostly, but we want the people to be responsible. So again, here, getting connected to the earth, understanding our purpose and relevance of being on this beautiful earth is the essence of earth leadership. So it goes beyond a person's self-identity, local perspectives. So this concept is very broader. And another consciousness is everybody is an earth leader. So this is not happening because people think there are some leaders and there are some followers like that. But each person born on this earth is equally responsible, and in their respective capacities they can act, and they could become these global citizens and who would respect the earth system governance. This earth system governance also need to be evolved. So having so many nations, so many constitutions, so many laws, even having born in one country, a person may not know the law of that land. So many times, like indigenous community, they would never know what laws are made, and when government catches them and puts in a jail, even then they will not know why they are caught. So it has become very complex world, but still we can have a common earth system governance, which is universal and accepted by all people existing on this earth. And again, this geospirit meets, which had been facilitating since 2010. This is for the emergence of earth leaders. The first is declaring that everyone is an earth leader, but emergence means we have to recognize them. For that we need a kind of process. So that process is this geospirit meets. So here, an earth leader is having born on this earth. Everyone has equal right and responsibility for the earth. So it is usually people say that some people are more responsible, some people are less responsible, some people can have more resources. So there are so many concepts. But as we breathe, as we exist, so whatever the differences have been created, these are quite different. And it is one of the most resourceful and beautiful planet that we are living on. and its conservation and sustainability is utmost importance. And the spirit of Earth leadership is could make it a better planet for the present and future generations. So Earth had been tolerant and resilient over millions of years. But of course, our human developmental interventions and greed, it has become very fragile. And we are leaving every other generation more poorer. Like debt of the nations or the relationship between energy, economy, and which inversely affects the environment. Each country has its own policies, which are mostly mean, actually. And the concept of nationalism, people would think in a given boundary how they could sustain, not bothered about the consequences of their demands, because now resources, even food, many things are exchanged globally. So somewhere the consequences would happen. Like electricity is always cleaner, it is said. But the thermal power station where the electricity is generated is not cleaner. So nobody would be willing to have mini thermal power plant in their own place and say that electricity generated is cleaner like that. And ultimately we need harmony, and this everything is interconnected. And human and financial capital is developed at the cost of natural capital, leading to weak sustainability. The sustainable development, our common future, and Brundtland Commission and World Commission on Environment and Development. So there were so many things which defined this. And lead without identity, that is the leadership quality. And leaders are not those proclaimed by oneself nor declared by someone. It means everybody is a leader, whether something like that happens or not, some declaration happens or not. Leadership is not a position, it is the continuous process of being responsible for a cause. So these are some of the underlying principles based on which these Earth leadership programs are being promoted. So here again, some other concepts are Earth leaders own Earth, rather represent and love only parts of the Earth. It happens usually when we don't love our own body equally, and we don't love every animal equally also. But everything is creation, and everything need to be equally respected. So an Earth leader is a sensitive and humble human being. This sensitivity is a very big concept because knowledge has no meaning unless people are sensitive. The most knowledgeable people, very rarely they may act or react. It means they are very less sensitive. So they need to be sensitive. That is very, very important. Then only people would be responsible and responsive and would act. And definitely sensitive people's knowledge is always useful. Primary trait of Earth leadership is to exemplify a life with just values. Each person has the ability to change the Earth. It is like butterfly effect. So some people might think I may be so insignificant. What if, let us say there is a small fire in a forest. a person has gone and extinguished it, or he left it. We can write the whole history of this on this earth differently because of this particular small event that occurred. Earth leaders should envision a better world with selflessness and compelling for everyone to emulate. This is also another important factor. Earth leader is conscious of one for all. That is because I am because of everything. One for all or all for one. So this is an important concept because your existence is not by yourself. Everything, biotic, abiotic, everything has made you to exist. So Earth leader inspires and empowers everyone around for Earth stewardship. And Earth stewardship encompasses environmental stewardship also. So Earth leader is the trustee for conserving, protecting, and improving the Earth resources. This trusteeship is very, very important for people. In the concept of sustainability, trusteeship is a primary important requirement. Earth leader is one among the leaders who strive to achieve common goals. See, individuals will have their own personal goals, but common goals is for everything around. So, Earth leaders contemplate on the challenges faced by the Earth. So, any challenge is sometimes people avoid challenges because they want to be so-called comfort zone. The life of an Earth leader is never in the comfort zone because they are sensitive and they contemplate on the challenges and they try to address them. So the well-being and harmony of the whole world is their ultimate goal. They get subjected to the challenges of the world, get sensitive through awareness, exposure, experience, struggle, like that. So Earth leader constantly improve their human traits of compassion, love, empathy, and humbleness. This is again required. Being human, it means it's a continuous process. A person having born need not be a human being. So being human is a continuous process where compassion, love, empathy, humbleness, many things need to be always reinforced, applied. Then only we can exist as human beings. Earth leaders reinforce their commitments by practicing what is preached. So practice and preaching will be very closer for the Earth leaders. They are relevant skills, knowledge, technologies for shaping a resilient future. Yes, they should be multi-skilled. There is nothing wrong. People think why I should learn this, why I should know that. To perform better or to address the challenges, a leader should acquire. An Earth leader undergoes all kinds of situations with grace. So there is nothing called some people to sit on the ground, they feel they don't like. They don't want to sit, they want a chair. There is grace in everything, whether you sit on the ground, on a chair, or in a place. Every place has equal importance. So there is nothing good nor bad. Everything is a situation. So this consciousness will be there. So for a leader, there will be a definite change in the journey aspect towards a higher goal. Earth leaders don't get disheartened at failures. They don't ever long for respect nor recognition for their contributions and achievements. It's an outcome, not for only for this recognition or identity they will be doing. Outcomes are fine, but that is not the purpose of doing or acting. They do remarkable and magnanimous things for Earth sustainability, and they lead a complete and purposeful life. This is also important. At least their life is getting completed. In Earth leadership, everyone and everything has significance and a role of Earth resilience for the Earth resilience and the sustainable development. And they're always mindful of the challenges around. The challenges around are the cause to strive for the emergence of Earth leaders, the other way around. If everything is perfect, there is no need for somebody to act. But there are always some challenges. And Earth leaders resolve the challenges for which they have vision and goals. So they always create a vision and goal for the challenges that they see. Earth leaders lead a group of people or organizations toward the sustainability of the Earth. Again, they go at different levels, from individual to addressing groups or addressing organizations and like that. And consistent Earth leadership is needed for the positive change. This characteristics which mentioned, sensitivity, humility, truthfulness, empathy, and commitment. And above all, they should have maximum integrity. Integrity is a term which many people don't even know. Even if you ask them, tell the definition of integrity, they know honesty, but going beyond honesty is integrity. So this is what required in Earth leader. The Earth leader should be conscious of the three aspects of life, that is spirit, knowledge, and action. See, the global leadership challenges, even with this post-COVID times, there are urgencies for development, a kind of mad rush, even at the cost of environment, ecology. They want to just develop. And Mother Earth, this consciousness is very, very important, because there is interconnection among all the elements of the Earth's ecosystem between microcosm and macrocosm, and biotic and abiotic. Our existence depends on the health of the Earth's ecosystem. Our commitment as Earth leaders for its sustainable development is a common ultimate goal. And we see there is over-exploitation and damage that is happening. Today, I was in a conference, Asian conference, that is on sustainable exploitation and harnessing of marine resources. So the 50% untouched areas below the sea, especially mining for nickel, cobalt, copper, manganese, which are required for electric vehicles, especially. All nations are competing now to have this area which is underneath the sea. So we have seen the consequences of mining on land. So now going to see what they would do. I have made my presentation on that day on this issue. We all are emotionally connected to the loving earth as Mother Earth. See, its suffering transcends onto the people and other life too, because everything is connected and it's very intricate. And the current development, the so-called development definition of human beings and processes leading to accelerated damage of the earth. And earlier, people were more connected, consciously connected with the earth, because people used to walk even barefoot, or they used to go by a bullock cart or on the back of a horse. So there was more connection with the earth. And human beings are the single species who are disharmonizing the earth. And we are too many. 800 crores is not a small number. That is beyond the sustainable or carrying capacity of the earth. The future of earth is hopeless and bleak unless the earth conscious leadership emerges. So as I said, the spirit, know and act, these are the three aspects of earth leadership. Because spirit is these levels of consciousness. Geospirit, purpose of living on earth, one's consciousness of the purpose of living on earth. It is the spirit of earth leader which drives one to gain knowledge and act. So then Geono, purpose of gaining knowledge and experience is for being on this earth. Such as a child, everyone wants to explore and understand their surroundings. This curiosity of a child diminishes as people grow up. And geoact, purpose of our actions on earth. So every action that we do on this earth, that's why the spirit, know and act. These are the levels of consciousness of the earth leaders required. Again, the karma. Karma is action, or karma is the most fundamental thing in life. And action manifests in the material world. And to act is the most fundamental for any life on earth. So within this, the whole, the know, act, everything lies. So right knowledge is required to act wisely. Other principles, as I said, one for all for one is one important thing. The conscious of being are sensitive, living in harmony, and lives a life with freedom and integrity, willing to take risk, prepares in advance foreseeing the future, gives scope for younger leadership. That is not happening. With increased lifespan, most of the governments are run by above 50 years old people. I'm happy lifespan is not the issue, but the decisions made by this, what we say, a kind of expired thoughts, or they might have learned as youth something, but when they are 70, 80 years who are ruling some nations or majority sitting in the parliaments, if they take decisions, when I think somewhere the aspirations and the thought of the younger generations is left behind. So this in leadership, giving scope for younger leadership is very much required. Would recommend, even if you have less than 30-year-old youth, at least 30% in every legislative or parliaments, if they become part of that, it will be great. So they always aspire for higher leadership rather than sitting in a comfort zone. Leaders, they give up positions if needed and does not indulge in unfair means for position or power. Then through awareness, information, sensitivity and all this, they try to understand the whole world holistically. And they love and appreciate everything. And they stand by their word. Also acknowledge the failures to do so. Makes decisions and does not procrastinate. Reasons and prioritizes values. Strives for change by all means, committed to achieving the respective common goals and declarations. And they also strive for the good earth system governance. And they practice open knowledge and sharing will be done by them. And they take up challenges in all situations. And there is a process in this whole thing, the leaders. So for the emergence of earth leaders, first they need to enroll in a process. Means let us say there is a challenge. So getting into that challenge is a process of enrollment and trying to understand more that challenge and getting sensitized or sensitization process they undergo. Let us say climate change or gender. There are so many things which you have to be sensitive to understand. And they get inspired and they set their goals and they try to achieve. And there are so many things. The goals declared would be achieved through many means, like integration or recognizing, appreciation, support, networking, convergence, communications, organizations, like that. They apply different methods to achieve the goals. And these earth leaders are from all walks of life. They are managers, professionals, education. It is not about just political leadership we are discussing here. Everybody is an earth leader and they can represent every section of the society, including public leaders, farmers, artisans, artists, students. And leadership is making everyone a leader. Many times we have this a guru and then followers or disciples or volunteers. So much jargon is given, telling that like people will tell read books, but nobody will tell write book. Read book means there is somebody who is more intelligent than you, that book is available, you read. So you don't know anything. If somebody tells write book means even you have some knowledge, experience and understanding, why don't you express it? So leadership is like that. Leadership is making everyone a leader. Symbolically, the earth leader is the one while climbing a hill gives hand and pulls the person to reach above oneself. Also mentor those above and below to reach the heights. Recognition. See, recognition is always an outcome, but still we need to build that process, especially while encouraging the younger generations in this leadership process. Someone by knowing about the earth, leaders would get inspired and motivated. A large number of others would emerge as the earth leaders and contribute to earth sustainability. So sometimes the examples of some people who have done something would inspire others, younger generations. So the earth leaders should be recognized and their work should be acknowledged and shared widely. So that's good because in this world where mostly the negative things are spread or shared more, then good things are very rarely shared. So in this process, we should appreciate the good work more and spread it intentionally. It is common to see that very few people get recognized and appreciated less often. However small one's initiatives might be for the earth, one should be recognized and appreciated. Every action is equally important for the sustainability of the. Till date, I have given thousands of people who involved in this process of earth leadership, declaring them with the certificate called Earth Leader directly. So this is very, very critical. And Earth Leaders progress is based on self-evaluation and on the proof of achievement seen in results, outreach, and outcome. This is also important. See, sometimes the self-evaluation is the best way, actually, because when people live in integrity, a person living in integrity will not always show his work. He need not make it visible also, but he will be always doing good things. So in this, the Earth Center will issue the certificates. So this is the process I have initiated. Now I am the director of an institute, Council for Earth Leadership and Sustainability. So we are issuing the certificates. So Geospirit meets are the program that we conduct, say biodiversity for leadership, humanness for leadership. So like the different themes we take, climate change and leadership, and we create the awareness, sensitization, exposure, and we create networks, and we ask them to participate in some cultural activities or drawing, painting, or speaking. So many things they are involved. And then we declare and then we give them the certificate, the title Earth Leader. The earth leaders on this earth that we may or may not recognize would be working somewhere continuously with Geospirit. Even if there is no system, there are many people who are doing that, it means. And we need many earth leaders, and that is very essential. And here again, one should declare that I, by name, the name of that person will come. I am an earth leader, declaring my common goal for the earth. So that's how they declare. The goals and respective targets should be preferably from the sustainable development goals. So our whole earth leadership is around this 17 sustainable development goals, which are most important as UN had given, and we need to achieve by 2030, but still they are relevant. Even beyond also they can continue, which mostly address the sustainability, conservation, protection, promotion, adaptation, mitigation, etc., specific to one's respective activity. So within this 17 sustainable goal, they can choose the goals which are relevant to them. And one self-declaration with will is the strongest commitment. Your word is your power. Then they should have attended some Geospirit meets also, means they are attending this kind of process which we have created, but it is not a necessity. So then later on, the person who is attending this kind of programs, usually these programs I conduct overnight also, and in the natural environments, and they will have bare minimum. They live with nature and with minimalist. These two are the mantras today. living with nature or ecosystem-based adaptation or nature-based solutions, and minimalist. These are the mantras of today's existence. The earth leader can lead geospirit meets. Means if they have attended 3-4 such kind of geospirit meets, they can lead themselves. So here they have a kind of oath also. O earth, give me strength, knowledge, willpower, and wisdom. Give me an opportunity to serve the earth. Give me bigger and better chances to work on earth challenges. Then they will mention what challenges they're looking into. And here always a goal will have desired result, outcome, and time period to achieve them. All this will be, they'll be declaring. The whole earth shall be happy and I shall be happy. I shall strive for the sustainability, harmony, and well-being of the earth. I'll work with commitment, integrity, love, freedom, and oneness. After this kind of oath, they should gently touch the ground with their palm of both the hands and feel the sense of the earth. That's all. Means here declaration is not to somebody. They are declaring themselves to the Mother Earth. And it is their declaration. Who are we? It is their commitment. And other concepts which are there is like in Geospirit, we have Mother Tree, then Geospirit Center, Geospirit Commune. These are the other concepts because Mother Tree we have initiated in a program with colleges, universities that is called Earth Centers Alliance. So asking them to declare at least one plant which they desire. It could be a very old plant of any species. Declaring it as Mother Tree with a promise that they will let it live forever. And this Geospirit Center is again a kind of place for connectivity. Around that place, they will develop with local biodiversity, all the species they will put. It could be a small area of say 1 acre, half acre. And this will be an award for plants, animals, and microbes. And a nature-based solution, ecosystem-based adaptation. These concepts would be reflected here. And this benefits to the immediate environment because of Geospirit centers are this space hosts a variety of birds, reptiles, mammals, and other fauna. Heaven for soil microbes, a must requirement for keeping the soils alive rather dead. This concept I had been sharing with Lloyd since very long, and once he summarized this work, and which I published in my book also, one of my books on biochar. The biodiversity of plants is the host for fauna and also an excellent resource of the genetic pool. So at least if we declare this kind of geospirit centers globally, then in the future when the GMOs are coming and so much pollution and so much mutations and exotic plants, in this kind of situation, at least they will become the centers from where the local genetic pool is conserved. And have developed an area of one of such area where I have developed is it has more than 200 species of plants in half an acre land, and it has very good soil microbial culture which I am using for my biochar. And in this place no chemical pesticides or fertilizers are applied. And again, another concept which I was working on is geospirit commune. So around a center, can we live in harmony with nature? So this is my building constructed with minimalist concept without damaging the local rocks or even plants also. So around this center, where you conserve the biodiversity, people can start living as a commune. It is like only 10% of the land is used for habitation, means for construction, and rest is for the commons. So living in harmony with nature. So this around 17 people are living together now. That place is called the Earth Center. It is near Hyderabad. So this was conceptualized by me. Even this place was selected by me. So Geospirit Center, there is a need for many such centers to support indigenous microbial life for the present and future of the earth. So that could be declared, even a farmer could declare, he could leave at least 1%, 2% of his land and declare that place as a Geospirit Center. In every academic college, university and all that, we have lots of land, many places. So they're declaring already. When I told the youth and the colleges, it could be even in private lands also, and religious places also, other common places also it can happen. So Geospirit is for freedom, oneness, and to be the earth leaders actually. So again, Geospirit is for understanding and getting connected to the earth. So here again, relationship between various biotic and abiotic aspects to understand. And to be sensitive and be the cause of sustainable earth resources for geoecology, environment, and humanity. And the Geospirit is a space for self-realization and freedom, where these such centers are created. And in such places, we have MOUs with universities and colleges. We told them to adopt the international days. Just before Lloyd was telling the important international days of significance. And even by remembering those days, because these are universal, means globally, everybody need to be conscious. Say Soil Day. Now this month we have Farmers Day also. Like Energy Conservation Day was also there in India. We celebrated. Even Monkey Day is also there. So like that, important days are there. So we are asking them to just chisel on a stone all these important international days of their choice and go there to that mother tree, to that Geospirit Center where the biodiversity is there. Contemplate, discuss, take an oath like that. And our act, knowledge, and spirit are relevant to the harmony and well-being of space. Geospirit gives a chance to understand it, our ultimate unlimited space, to know, to be sensitive and act. So sacred grooves is another thing which are existing otherwise traditionally. So these Geospirit centers are the places where instead of calling as sacred grooves, we are calling as Geospirit centers. Otherwise, traditionally they are there. So here, this concept I told, but how do they go to higher levels? So we start this trainings right from the school children. 6th class child, maybe around 10 years old. Even youth and different levels of people, including those who are professionally working already, including farmers. So everyone we have started. So as they will be attending more and more such programs, so over a period, their consciousness, their earth consciousness and their commitments, their goals will be redefined and refined. And they grow up the ladder and they lead again such programs. So that is what happening already. Now, even without they voluntarily, they themselves come and participate. Recently, we have conducted Conference of People on Climate Change from 6th to 18th, parallel to what was happening in Egypt, involving all stakeholders, and 19 thematic events we have conducted. It was a huge success. So there they participated and they become very conscious on this climate change. So Earth Leaders Mentors is another concept in the colleges, schools. The teachers who would lead this Earth Leaders group, they are declared as Earth Leaders Mentors. And they are being given special training to lead. Again, we are having these articles from the children, the speeches of the videos, and we are providing skills and some project activities they are taking up. Like recently, 10,000 children, one program in Bihar, Patna happened on sustainable development, where I was called as the chief guest. So good, like that, many such activities we are encouraging. So here, nature-centric development, minimalist sharing, like like books, plants bank, seed bank, plants library. Many concepts are there which were introduced. So geospirit, nature camps, exposure visits, many things we conduct, activities. So in university, we are telling to adopt a calendar in the MOU that we write, that they will conduct some conferences, meetings, exhibitions with respect to sustainable development goals. Also in the same calendar, we ask them to put these international days of their choice. So they also requesting them to establish the earth centers. So recognizing a mother tree or a place where biodiversity is conserved. So that is also they doing. And communications. So whatever is happening, we are putting in a newsletter and sharing across, so that others will also get motivated in the network and act. And Earth Leaders channel. We have a channel with more than 500 videos. So all the events, the programs, they are on this YouTube channel we post. So annual events also we are planning. These are Central Alliance, the Alliance of Earth Leaders annual events we are planning. So Earth Leaders programs we are conducting. Like recently I was training the youth on, there are so many courses, UNCC e-learn, the courses of United Nations online courses. And on SDGs also we have. There are more than 100 courses available. Most of the youth, they don't know that they are available. So I was mentoring and helping them to get those certificates. So at least they'll be updated on the global challenges, because these things are not taught in their regular curriculum. Nearly 100 students got their certificates as of now on different courses, like Introduction to Climate Change, Children and Climate Change, like that, different courses. So again, to start with schools, especially to encourage children to start, Earth Research Centers are being created in schools where to help them to become the Earth leaders. See, knowledge from books or something theoretical is not enough. They need to have hands-on experience. Then only they can become the leaders. So this is to educate children on environmental aspect, to teach children on growing plants, soil quality testing, water quality testing, water efficiency, local weather monitoring, air quality. I'm successful. I have done all this in schools, including in some remote villages also. I could help them adopt this. And they could help the local communities. They become part of decision making because they could help the farmers. Even water is efficiency. Even they assembled sensors and placed in Ahmedabad and Surat. So the data was very much useful for parents to take decisions or the civil society. And here in this whole process, they're making them learn about their environment and also learn on adaptation and mitigation. So they're sharing this information online. So again, we have another program incorporating SDGs into school curriculum. So this I participated in this, and we are working with education department. So activity based, and it is not just knowledge, it is on sensitization basis, like on poverty to teach. We'll give 80 rupees to each kid and ask that kid to just plan how to live a day. So let us say $1 per day. So how do you live? How much does it cost for your food? If you eat 3 times, how much? For living, how much? For electricity, how much? So if you calculate all that, can they survive? So then how the poor are surviving? So this consciousness we develop with such activities. So the document is getting readied. So children have the right to sense their environment and be conscious. This is very, very important because 25 years they study something, and after 25 years they try to find meaning of their existence, trying to see their life ahead. Why don't we make children as part of their education should also be aware of their immediate environment? So it gives a scope for children to learn about their environment. And also it integrates all subjects of physics, chemistry, biology, computers. Otherwise, they might be learning these subjects separately. But this kind of activities bring all the subjects together. And as they are also helping local communities in this process. And this information shared will also help the global decision making. So air pollution is global. And they are declared as Earth leaders. And we are calling this as Earth leaders for environmental management in this program. So this implementation steps, like as I said, 6th to 9th class, we are involving in school level. We have college students and other programs, and 10 students in each school will be involved in the project, and ideally 50 students preferred. So like that, how many days training we would provide? A program has been designed like that. So growing plants. So fundamentals we teach them of survival, testing soil, water quality, automatic weather station, air quality testing, solid waste management, like that. So in this whole process, they become to understand, they develop their leadership on environmental issues, and it's a multidisciplinary learning. Children contribute into environment and society. And next pedagogy methods for education are introduced. Nature-centric development and minimalist approach for sustainable earth is introduced. Seed banks and a compensatory cultivation of vegetables, which they consume also. So like that, these are the various things. Here I'm introducing on this, I have written several books, reports, videos, podcasts, presentations, and blogs, but some are related to earth leadership in these books, which can be found in my website, saibhaskar.com. So here, these are the books relevant to this subject. So Geospirit, I have written a book. So all these concepts are given. So in this book, I have incorporated Lloyd's comments on Geospirit Center. And again, this is another book I have written, Ways of Spirituality for the Earth Sustainability. So taking from the historic past, what the relevance people had with the environment and Mother Earth, even from Indus Valley civilization, scriptures. This is in the context of India I have developed, but it's a very good reading. And ways of integrity. See, integrity, it's not easily understood. So that's why from live examples, which I have experienced, I have written this particular book. So it's good for leadership. And one more concept is like open knowledge. So this is very, very important. I always wonder when only 3, 4 people were manufacturing vaccines for corona, why they have not given the rights to others to produce, mass produce? No, because they have the holding some rights, patents and copyright, something like that. When people are dying, what is the use of knowledge of humanity? So especially when it is relevant to millions of people, knowledge should be open. And this I follow this whole thing, and I declare all my work, my books and everything is open knowledge. So here it is related to creation and sharing of knowledge in an open manner. Open means accessible to all. So open source creation. There are so many sources. My teacher might have taught me something. The environment might have taught me. From failures also I have learned something. But finally I said something. So that's how the knowledge comes. So to acknowledge all the sources, nobody is doing. But at least we should, whatever is understanding or whatever the technological things that come, which are relevant to majority, it should be in the public domain. So there are so many licenses and data information technology, and finally this open knowledge with time. Also, otherwise it becomes open, but it will be delayed sometimes. So data information knowledge as we go up the ladder. So sharing values. So as compared to data, information sharing, knowledge sharing is more holistic. Wisdom should be acquired by each individual, which should be expressed in our being. So integrity and discipline, this is the most important quality of an earth leader. So a great institution does not run on the strengths of few individuals. Only great leaders can build great institutions. Leaders can only create leaders. So this is another concept. But again, an earth leader should take the multi-pronged approach. So like open knowledge or share with freedom. They should be speaking, talking, giving lecture, public address, presentations, media. They can adopt anything, like, or they can take a picture and sensitize people, or they can take videos, paintings, cartoons, animation through websites, blogging, modeling, demonstration, writing books, papers, policy advocacy, manifesto preparations. We are participating in this now, Green Manifesto. We are building and sharing with political parties here. And policy documentation, project proposals, policy documents, exhibitions, attending conference meetings, and then sharing our views. Like that, there are so many umpteen ways where people can, their leadership can bring out the value for the society. Thank you very much.